Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see who was here first. Wunderbar. Yeah, it's Vaughn. Thank you so much for being here first. And hello to you too. Okay. Ah, Esmeralda. You know what? I noticed yesterday. Oh my goodness, what did I just do? What was that? Uh, yes, there it is, right? Nope. Yes, was that you? No, no, it was someone else. Oh, I'm sorry. Right? No, that wasn't you. That was someone else. Yeah, someone else. Okay. But anyway, I did want to start off with this. Unless these folks put themselves in a black person's shoes, they will never understand. They always think we are making up things. Why would the majority of us keep complaining for no good reason? you know, this was like the very last thing that popped up on the screen just as I said goodnight for the day. And it's a good question. Why would we make it up? And even when you can just draw a proper picture, even if you create a diagram and you could say, this is what makes that racist, right? They just don't want to believe it. They want to gaslight you. I've had that happen on an occasion where I I changed my mind about accommodations, right? And it was because the timeline just would not work. And all of a sudden, I was there were some I don't even want to say what they were, but there were some things that were obviously racist. But when I showed this to someone, a non-American from Europe, and I'm just like, well, what? Because we all belong to the same group. I said, what do you think about that? Seems like they went a little racist on me. And there was, you think so? Really? Now, I don't know if that was embarrassment or just ignorance, but it was dog whistle material. It was those things where you say this rather than say it out loud. And I was shocked by it. I really was shocked by it. I could not believe it because the nationality of the person, I didn't even think they understood those things. But I would have been wrong to assume otherwise because they did understand it and they did use it against me. And what is really hurtful is that the more you try to explain why something is wrong, or should I say, why something is racist, the more you explain, the deeper the denial becomes. And your voice tightens up, right? Your throat tightens up. Um, your breathing becomes very heavy. You're taking deep breaths. Your heart is racing because it's it's already out of hand that someone is denying the obvious and they don't believe you. But then they want to play detective. They want to flip it around and make you out to be the complaining, whining, whinging, whatever you want to call it. So usually I just don't try to explain. I say what I said and I'm done with it. This is the way I see it. Enough said. Which Anyway, thank you so much for your comment because that one definitely struck a chord with me because, like I said, I've been through it, and I'm pretty sure to some degree or another, most African Americans, I'll just say African Americans, have been through it. Um, oh, yeah, by the way, thank you for the super chat. So, yeah, that's the way I see it. It's very hurtful. And as far as I'm concerned, I felt like in that moment I lost a friend, or at least what I thought was a friend. It's hurtful to have to explain it. It's hurtful when people want you to question your motives or they want to assume that you're jumping to conclusions. Very hurtful. Oh, Winsome Jones, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let me see. Hi, Squaddies. Good morning. Today is my special day, my birthday. Well, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and do a birthday salsa and then we'll get on with everything, okay? That sounds good. They just don't want us making them feel uncomfortable. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant, Black Lily. That is brilliant. They just don't want us making them feel uncomfortable about their behavior because they value their feelings more than the impact. Oh my God, that is brilliant. Let me screenshot that one because that is just awesome. I don't want to forget that. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that sums it up. That really sums it up. It's all about their comfort and not my feelings. Got it. Yeah, why let me identify poor behavior when someone can gaslight me into believing that, oh, you just don't see it properly. Oh my God. It was like being assaulted or injured twice. Okay. All right. So again, we have a birthday for Winsome Jones. So I'm going to take this away. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. Okay, let's get these salsa going. Oh, no, that's not it. Put the wrong thing. Ah, there we go. Happy birthday, Winsome Jones. Okay, worlds apart. Happy birthday, Winsome Jones, and many happy returns of the day. Okay. Um, let's see, September 13th. I'm not advertising, you guys. I'm not trying to remind you to do anything other than keep yourself safe. Keep yourself safe. September 13th in the United Kingdom, mostly in London, but I suppose around other parts of the country, there's going to be what's supposed to be like a family day, a day for people who feel strongly about their national heritage. People in the United Kingdom will all, well, not everybody, of course, but there will be a lot of people that are going to take to the streets to celebrate exactly what it means to be British. Um, Now, the person who is like the main sponsor of this or organizer is Tommy Robinson. Yeah, Tommy Robinson. So there's some people who say that he's, um, oh gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? Racist. That's it. Now, I don't know if he is or he isn't. I'm going to just allege that that's what people have said about him. Um, but I recommend that you try to have at least a week's supply of food, that you hunker down somewhere with flashlights, candles, whatever, especially if you're in an area where the march or rally is going to take place, because, well, it's so easy for what they call a mob action. Things can get out of hand. So even if you're not a person of color, do take precaution. But if you are, do make sure that you take as much precaution as possible, because we do not want anyone getting hurt. Um, Even the people that are, shall we say, a little overzealous, is better if everybody gets home safe to their family. Okay. All right. That's what I have to say for that. And, well, let's get on with it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm running some water. I am multitasking. Pardon me. Oh. Isn't it bliss? Are we up here? You on the ground, me in mid. Uh oh. Where are the clowns? Okay. Sorry about the noise. They're all too. Heather Stroud, thank you so much for joining us. Let me see. Is hunkering down from, oh, yeah. I haven't seen any signs of that. But just so you guys know, Chicago is a very large city, geographically 238 square miles. And, there's the city is in length. Chicago is 26 miles long. So just if you're not in certain areas, you're not likely to see them. You may see them in passing or something like that. Or if you're, just going to find them. But so far, I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything. I do know that there are people, prepared for whatever, but um, yeah, I haven't seen much of it. And we've had big events, we've had riots, and so the police here are very adept at crowd control. I know this is like something very different from all of those other things because it involves all of that stuff. But yeah, there have been people affected by it, but I haven't seen like nothing. I haven't seen anyone being detained or, but I have seen it on television, and that is disturbing to look at. And I just want to say something I've said many times: asylum seeking is not a crime. Overstaying your visa is a misdemeanor. It is not a felony offense. Um, Wanting to breathe free or to run away from problems back home, whatever those problems are, as far as I'm concerned, that is not a crime. But in the eyes of the law, yeah, it's something. But I'm very liberal on the idea of immigration, and I understand that sometimes these immigrants may make the news because of something that happened, but being a black person and seeing the local news only report what black people do or have allegedly done and ignore all crimes from white people. That's how I grew up. um, I take those things with a grain of salt. um, but yeah, there's good and bad from every place and everywhere and everybody. Okay. Hello, Antoinette Kennedy says, "Oh yeah, Chicagoans has been marching all over." Yeah, I've only seen stuff on television, and when the weather changed, when the weather changed, believe me, they will run from Chicago. The And nobody wants to be out there and all that. We'll see what happens in the winter if they are still as active as they are now. I think the Chicago winter cures everything. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I really, really do appreciate that. But I tell you what, I will try to keep myself safe. You can tell the work of Misan Harriman, can't you? Misan Harriman with his very talented lens. I was so pleased when I saw him in the background of a photo yesterday. I'm like, this is quite historic, and nothing is going to make it um, really stand out. I mean, it's going to stand out, but nobody has a way of making these things stand out like Misan Harriman, a man who only picked up a camera a few years ago, and now he is a working professional photographer. And even better, he uses his talent to tell the story, to give voice to those who cannot speak or are not heard. Okay, I'm very proud of Misan Harriman, and I love his work. Here's another one. Gosh, I am so sorry. I always forget this man's name, but he's the one in charge of the World Health Organization. And of course, Harry's friend, that guy. I'm so bad with names. I didn't think to caption these, you guys. I am very sorry about that. But yeah, he's been with Invictus since the start. Um, Hi, Adrian Burrell. You know what? I wasn't going to deliberately gloss over that. I did mean to say a couple things about it, and I know that that's something that's really on everybody's mind. I saw the video, and I warn you guys: if you see anything come across your, social media that looks like they're about to show that, I say just try not to look at it. It is very disturbing. I was kind of numb for, I don't know, for about an hour. It is brutal. It is very brutal. And oh my God, I guess all I can say is that it was just a very, very brutal act. And I was so disturbed by it. I really was. When I found out that there was an incident, that was one thing. Then I found out that he did not survive. And then I saw the video and I'm like, oh my God. Um, the amount of blood loss was, oh, it made me sick on the stomach. I felt that weird feeling in my stomach. Yeah, that's how I can describe it. I had that weirdness in my stomach. Okay. Oh, what is that? I'm just going to hard reboot the system and see what happens. I might have to transparent for a job. My only skill is making executive decisions without management input. I like your profile pic. Yeah. Um, I didn't care for his politics, and I really do wish that these college kids will stop this trying to debate some of these professional wordsmiths. I mean, people who have honed their skills time and time again. Um, I don't think those debates solve anything, and especially when the exchange is very lopsided, and you have someone who's full of anger and vinegar and you know trying to have a logical debate with someone, and then is reduced to a bunch of name calling. It is very ineffective. And no matter what you think about his politics, the guy was a beast when it comes to having a debate. Now, I like to think that I could have held my own because I know a trap when I see one. But then I'm not so easily triggered. I'm not. I'm not usually not an angry person. And if you allow your emotions to overtake you, you can't deal with those kind of debates. Well, let me say I'm speaking for myself because some people they thrive with that type of adversity. But um, whatever the case may be, I certainly would not have wanted what happened today to happen, not even to prove a point, not even to counter the rhetoric that came from him. I would rather not do that, um, because a video like that floating around cyberspace, being pushed across the social media, that type of stuff really, what is the word I'm looking for? I think it diminish us as a race, as anybody in this global village we live in. We are all made that much smaller by what happened, because there's very little daylight between ourselves and animals. If you know animals, at least animals do it to eat, but we do it because we disagree with someone. So yeah, it was a tragedy, and I hate that that happened. um I hate that for his family in particular. It's just so disturbing. I don't have the words for it, but it was just so disturbing. Yeah, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. It's gut wrenching. It really is gut wrenching. So I'll say, try to avoid it. Okay. Ms. Z says, "Hello, fam. Feeling a little worried about the climate after what happened. We need to bring back civility and humanity, even while speaking truth." Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because of people challenging um, someone like that, it only made him stronger. It only made him bigger. It made him a lot of money. It gave him a lot of access to some very powerful people. And the only reason why that happened is because of the constant challenges. When they go to these college campuses and they challenge these kids, they know that they're going to win the debate. They have already decided um, a list of things that is the I gotcha moment, right? And you're really doing yourself a disservice if you think you're going to go and sit across from someone like that yelling all kind of, obscenities. Or I heard someone talking about his mom and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to win. You're only going to make yourself look bad. So those types of debate, especially with a younger person, I when I see those, I just turn it off because I already know which direction it's going to head. I already know. What happens is the poor college student creates a sound bite that will be used by the right wing media to make a case. That's what they do. It's a trap. It is a trap. Here's another image. Of course, this was at the blast injury. Um, oh gosh, what do they call it? The Imperial College Clinic for blast injury or something of that effect. But and don't forget, you guys, the Sussexes made a very generous contribution yesterday. What did he? I'm sorry. What he did was not debate. He triggered young people like that's hard. Yeah, yeah, exactly. He knew which buttons to push. He knew which buttons to push. Um, it's a no-win situation, and I really do wish that some of these young people could engage, just not engage, they will do themselves and humanity a favor. Okay. All that place there is for the little kids. Yeah, that's like a little playroom or whatever. Very cool. Wow, Misan Harriman has done an amazing job. And then the WHO guy again. Uh, Harry commands the room whenever he's out and about. He really knows how to hold the space. Okay. Helen G, if it was up to me, I would outlaw them if it were up to me. But that ship has already sailed, and it would be very difficult to turn it around. Very difficult because there's more firearms than there are people, maybe even twice as many. So there's not a lot we can do about it at this point. It would take such a radical change. But I wish that it was not a thing because it's more likely to overcomplicate a situation. And of course, for people who own them, they're more likely to have been used on a member of their immediate family than actually trying to defend themselves from crime. And that's the truth. It's a very known statistic that people hurt themselves and each other with those. And it's so readily available, it seems to be the answer to everything. And that's why those things happen. Yeah, I wish it wasn't that way, but ugh, what can we do? I don't even like to be around those things. Oh, yeah. And wait a minute, Antoinette. Let me ask you: did they detain two people and release both of them because that was not the suspect? Is it true that they're still looking for the perpetrator? I think it's been like two people that have been detained and nothing's come of it, and they had to release them. Wow. Weird, weird. Okay. Thank you for that information. Okay, one more shot of the Institute. And then Harry bids a farewell, and we all know where he was headed to next, right? At least I think we do. Okay, let me. Okay, again, CBS. Chris Barron Smith says patron and founder of the Invictus game, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, at the Invictus. Oh, wait a minute. Am I on the right? Yes, that's the right one. At the Invictus Horizon event. So that happened last night. Pictured with the IGF's, that's Invictus Games Foundation, former CEO, UK Prime Minister, I'm sorry, UK Minister, what am I saying, Prime? UK Minister of State for the Armed Forces Al Carnes and Chief Engineer Gimba of the Armed Forces Invictus Center in Nigeria. Remember, in Abuja, they are building an Invictus Center, right? I think that's the name of the one that they're building. But this place is going to be a huge complex. Uh, and of course, the Duke of Sussex will likely be there for its opening. I think so. And I do believe it opens in 2026 or 7. But yeah, this place is going to be amazing. It's going to be like every possible thing to a family that has a injured family member, because of war, their children and their partners. Well, anyway, there's going to be something for everyone there. So the whole family will be cared for. Thank goodness. And then, oh yeah, I'm sorry, this is out of order. This is when Harry was leaving the Center Institute. This is when he was leaving. Yes, there were some people outside waiting to greet him, which is very cool for our Duke, the Duke of Sussex. What an incredible evening at Invictus Horizon. So we're going back to later in the day. Invictus Horizon. Today's conversation highlighted the transformative power of recovery, community, and sport. Together, we've begun shaping the next decade of the Invictus Games Foundation, and the journey is only just beginning. Uh-oh, did I say beginning? That's one of those words that remind me of a song, but I'm not going to sing it because, yeah, I don't want you guys to think I'm just like, you know, hysterically happy or something like that. But I am because Harry is in, because Harry is embarrassing those people in the UK. I am happy. This is the beginning, and we've each been down this road before a time or two. We never could make it through, but now we're both ready for the real thing, 'cause our dues have all been paid. We finally got it made. Okay, I knew I couldn't hold it. We're going all the way. Hey, Legs, thank you so much for joining us. So, there was only one picture out of that bunch that had the Duke of Sussex. So, there we go. That was the only one I wanted to see. Harry looks so happy. And you know what, guys? I was worried about him. I thought when he went to his father's that was going to cast a shadow over the entire trip. But I was wrong. I thought for sure nothing good could come of it. After all, it's his dad. I mean, this is Harry headed to the Clarence house, and this is Harry exiting the Clarence house. And then, of course, this is Harry at dinner later that night at that building that looks like a cucumber, or what is that? An aubergine, a eggplant, cucumber, something, something. It reminds me of that time Harry and Meghan was trying to make peace with Will and Kate, and they went shopping. Do you guys remember that? Harry and Meghan went shopping to try to find some kind of peace offering for William. Let me see. Do I have that picture? Oh, there it is. They were trying to find something for William that would, I suppose, calm his nerves. Something that would demonstrate that they think about him and that they care about him. There it is. Yes, they were, you know, trying to find something that they could present to William that that he would calm down and stop being so grouchy. So, um, so they headed to a farmer's market in the UK and a place that specialized in in produce, and that's what they came up with. For William was very grateful. If you guys recall, he had that kind of lull of hostility. Yeah. So there you go. uh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Look at there. See how the night is falling? See how the night is falling? They're still at that building in London, the one that looks like a cucumber aubergine or whatever. And Harry is in his element. Hello, Ingrid Soares. The Invictus movement is about celebrating resilience through the power of the unconquered human spirit that lies within all of us. And we hope that over the years, we will inspire and help millions across the globe. Well, thank you for that. And that's Rob Owens. At Invictus Horizon, we officially welcome Rob Owen, OBE, and the new CEO of the Invictus Games. Now, I don't know nothing about this man. Um, and he laid out his vision for the future of the Invictus movement. We are growing and we are going to help millions across the globe over the next 10 years. So, again, legs, his name is Rob Owens. Just in case you feel like doing some detective work, his name is Rob Owens. Okay. Just in case you want to look him up. You think he might be trouble? Well, everybody is guilty until they're proven innocent. At least where the Invictus Games are concerned. That is the stage at the space that was used for the Invictus Games. I wonder if their offices are there. I wonder. Forging new connections. David and Josh are members of the service community who were injured in the line of duty, and now they work for the Invictus Games Foundation, giving back. Oh, that's very cool. It's wonderful to listen to their stories and passion. So that is David Wiseman, all the way over to the right, and there in the middle. I have no clue who that is. By the way, I do have. Do I have a video for that? I think I do. Well, I talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Talk about moving. We gotta move on. Okay, Invictus Horizon. Okay, let me get that queued up for you, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Remember, if you don't follow your dreams, you'll never know what's on the other side of the rainbow, and you'll never know where you will be at your journey's end. Your journey's end. Okay, how come that's not where? Oh, there it is right there. Got it. Here we go.
Wonderful to be with you here tonight. I do want to begin with a heartfelt thank you. Many of you have been supporters of the Invictus Games Foundation since its earliest days, and while others are joining this community for the first time. To all of you, welcome, and thank you for believing in what we do and how we do it. I am incredibly proud of the milestones we've reached together, from Vancouver Whistler, who pioneered a hybrid Winter Games, to the first ever Veterans Day in Germany, to the remarkable progress in Nigeria, where just 3 years in, we already see a national program flourishing, complete with an Armed Forces Invictus Center being built in Abuja as we speak. I believe 40% complete already. Thank you. That does not deserve a round of applause. Surely. Surely. This is what I'm talking about, you see. You've been up here too long.
That was actually the crowd, and then I added a little applause of my own. There you go. All right. Continue, Harry.
And of course, our recent visit to Ukraine, where I witnessed again how urgent and vital our work is. In each of these places, Invictus has been the spark, but it is the leadership, the local communities, and the determination of service personnel themselves that carry it forward. This is what Invictus does best. It catalyzes change. It shows what is possible when courage is met with opportunity, and when recovery is supported by respect and community. That is why tonight is so important, because as proud as I am of our first decade, I know the next decade matters even more. We live in a time when conflicts rage across the globe, when anger and resentment towards those who are different can feel overwhelming. And the Invictus community stands as a direct challenge to that. We prove that unity is not just possible, but formidable. That the bonds of courage, respect, and humanity are stronger than the divisions of politics, background, or nationality.
Wow. It cuts off there. I wish I could have heard the rest of the speech. Oh, they actually may have it on their, what do you call it? They do have a YouTube channel, which I subscribe to. So anyway, it seemed like a great speech, and I would love to hear more of it. Hello, Legs. Oh, that's for Antoinette. That's not for me, right? Okay, I'll leave that alone. Okay. Now, someone is not a happy camper, and that is because they went through all that trouble coming up with last minute things to do, only to find themselves quite alone. I mean, if you contrast that with the reception that Harry received, it is very, very embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for him because behind all of that bluster, there is a very angry person who can barely get any type of reaction, let alone draw a crowd. So, of course, it was up to Harry to demonstrate what it means to draw a crowd. Let me see. I'm going to hopefully show you a contrast in Harry's visit yesterday to um, well, I guess visually it's not much of a contrast. What I would have to do is share the photos from yesterday because there was a whole street full of people from yesterday. And then there was the reception that William got today. So let me just do William because we've all seen all of those people hanging out there on the street hoping to see Harry. So you can see right there, that is William in Wales, I believe. You know, the Prince of Wales in Wales. Or should I say the Prince of Darkness in Wales? Oh, did I oh yes, there. It is there. I'm sorry, folks. Let me grab that video. Okay, that wasn't helpful. And I thought for certain it would be right there. Let me try this. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. Oh, how many William videos do I have? Okay, I tell you what, let me try that again. And I'll make sure that I have it this time. So you can see the proper contrast between the brothers. Light skinned Harry versus Willie Leaks. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I didn't have it there. But now, oh, there it is. And here we go. Here we go, yo. Wait, where's the crowd?
There's so many challenges Prince Harry's in the face. There's so much to him, but this time, after so many challenges Prince Harry's in the face. There's so much to him, but this time he's putting his own money up front. After so many challenges,
Harry, you brought the sunshine with you.
So much to him, and this time he's putting his own money up front.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. I think if you've been a diploma for the last 10 years and woke up today, you'd still think that Prince Harry was a working member of the royal family, is what he is doing today. And of course, you can see there your live pictures on your screens of him looking incredibly relaxed, just as he did yesterday with the World Child Awards. And the Community Recording Studio is a grassroots organisation really close to his.
Okay, did you hear? He says, when you look at Harry today, something blah, blah, blah about him being a full-time working member of the royal family. Well, he is a working royal. He's just not working with those people. He's not, I mean, the one thing that Tim Wilson said that I agree with is it doesn't make any sense to declare that someone is or is not a working royal because their work is not traditional work. So I agree with him. But even as non-traditional work, obviously there are some that are more effective and work harder than the others. Whatever kind of work you think it is, there are some people that actually work. So now I have another one for you. You may or may not have seen this one, but let me indulge you anyway. Okay. I think you get the point. All right. I do apologize. I have been so busy with these. I have not labeled most of them properly. And it makes it kind of hard to find them. If you could imagine how many videos that I am hanging on to. The answer is a lot. A lot. Okay, let's do this.
Excuse me. How are you? Oh, excuse me. I saw you in my time, nothing. That's what I didn't do. Thank you for your generous experience. You do it for the party. Good afternoon, sir.
I'm driving in my car. I turn on the radio. Oh, very cool, right? And when we kiss, ooh, fire. I haven't heard this song in ages. Okay, so that was another you know what's so weird? It seems like there's been a reset on my you know? Oh, wait. Why is that like that? That is that. Why is that so big like that? How do I I must have done something by mistake. Nope. Oh, geez. How do I make that go away? I mean, I could do that. Oh, well, it's not supposed to be a square, but so long as it works, who cares? That is so weird. I don't know how I did that. I must have touched something. Oh, well, I could hang with that. All right. Never mind. It's okay. Yeah, so poor lonely William went to his event. There was no one waiting outside. They didn't have a chance to get a busload full of children there, so he just had to rough it without any young people, minus the young. And check this out. These are the newspapers of tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow's newspapers today. Okay, tomorrow's newspapers today. Here are a couple more of them. Hello, Papa. Hello, Papa. Hello, Papa. When Harry met Charlie. Oh, God. You have to really look close. See the metro? That's where they have uh, Harry and his father. And then there on the right, the Daily Telegraph. Okay. Now check that out. There's an Invictus bus. TransLink. So that's a UK Invictus bus, right? Right. I am inspired, y'all. I am inspired. You know what? I noticed in the background there is a Rexall drugstore. I didn't even know they still had those things. A Rexall drugs. Did not know that. One of the squatties mentioned this to me, um, that these are sold out. And of course, because I trust that squatty, I didn't second guess it. Yeah, it must be sold out. Well, there's your proof right there. It is sold out. Both the keepsake and the solo jar, they are both sold out. Congratulations to the Duchess of Sussex, who actually posted something today. Let me share it to you. Ah, there we go. Harvest Hues, golden views, and a season that feels like magic. And suddenly it's magic. Yes, suddenly it's magic. One to look, one touch. Words just don't say enough when you fall in love. And suddenly it's magic. Yes, the magic colors of fall. I love it. The gold, the red, the orange, the whatever. That's what makes fall so beautiful. Okay, so check out that hog head. Ex royal butler Paul Burrell on how Meghan wanted a starring role in the royal family and how the downfall of her marriage to Prince Harry is inevitable. This man is trying to sell a book. He does not know Meghan. He has not spent time with Meghan. All of these salacious tales are just to sell his book. Also, he looks like hell. Look at him all bloated and distorted. You know, I was calling Pierce Morgan hoghead, but maybe they're both a hoghead. Hoghead Pierce and hoghead Paul. Wow. This guy never fails to disappoint, ever. Always disappoints. Lex says, I thought that was Jabba for a second. Right? Kind of looks like him, except his hair is a little, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, he's such a liar. He doesn't even know Megan. He's just trying to sell his book. Now, Meredith, I haven't been watching her a lot lately because I don't know. I've been, mm, well, I just don't watch her a lot lately. But she said something today that really spoke to me. So I'm going to share it with you. Okay, let me cue it up for you here. Oh, let me see here. Ugh. Okay, sorry about that. If you want my affection and we don't see eye to eye.
People are just out here trying to pay their bills, but this is disgusting. Prince Harry is a shameless hypocrite. I know the real reason he visited the Queen's grave. Do not be taken in by his act. No, you don't. Man, that headline is great when you're trying to sell exclusive access for $1.99 a month. And don't worry, your first month is free. You too can read an article desperate for clicks, shows there is absolutely no bottom when it comes to writing disgusting, unfounded commentary on Prince Harry. How, the author posits, could Harry have visited her grave after all the damage and pain he caused her in the monarchy in her final years? Reminder, this man took issue with the relationship that the institution and the media had with each other, which led to overwhelmingly negative, salacious, at times false, and oh yes, racist coverage of his family that then resulted in very real threats to their lives. But according to this article, the real issue is the appalling suggestion of racism. I don't know, maybe this is a sensitive topic for Amanda Patel, because in 2020, the Daily Mail had to pay £25,000 to Cambridge academic over a false racism allegation. This was after an article falsely accused a Cambridge academic of trying to incite a race war and attributed tweets to said academic that were not her own. Save it for your diary. This part cracks me up because it is so lazy. Ahead of Harry's 4-day trip, it had been briefed, who knows by who, that it was pure coincidence his arrival coincided with the 3rd anniversary of the Queen's death. Girl, don't act like you don't know that the Well Child event is around the same time every year, which is September. There's a good chance that next year it's going to coincide with the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death as well. How will you repurpose this drivel for next year? Quote, Harry and his scheming wife, Meghan, always have an eye for a headline and must have known of the anniversary as well as the potential publicity garnered by the solitary prince being in the chapel.
Okay, that was part 1.
You know, I wonder if the prince knows the anniversary of his beloved grandmother's death. Who writes the headlines? Who gives them publicity? You do. If you don't want Prince Harry to get headlines, don't give him headlines. But also, this is the only photo we have. We go on to, quote, they probably also had a good inkling that his brother William would also be honoring their grandmother's death on that day. So there was an opportunity to upstage him. So William is not using his grandmother's passing for headlines. It's pure coincidence that the week Harry's in town and has a bunch of engagements, Catherine decides to, surprise, show up for an engagement that was only supposed to be William to honor his late grandmother. That's not an attempt to take a hold of the headlines of the news cycle. Harry, as quietly as he can, visiting his grandmother's grave is, though. Quote, at least we should be grateful he didn't have his Netflix crew in tow. Or were they hiding in the bushes? Maybe he took a few photos himself inside the chapel mourning for his next hateful series on the royals. Harry has been a part of one Netflix series, which is years old at this point, plus his book Spare, which apparently no one in the British media has read, because he makes it very clear that his problem is with the media and the institution TM, the courtiers. This entire piece is disgusting. It is so soulless. It is so callous. I don't even think it's a healthy space to operate in. I just...
Okay, so that was Meredith Constance. And you remember, I told you I did not read that article. And I'm glad I didn't, because it would have only made me angry. I knew the article. I just knew it. I knew that article was full of a lot of like word salad, a lot of tropes that you could pull upon, or call upon, should I say, and just a bunch of nastiness. And as I have been saying, the tabloid media, they pretend to not know of things that they have known about for some time, things that they may have written about in the past. They have to pretend like that you don't remember and that they don't know either. They really have to do that in order to sell the point. And of course, the institution gives select reporters access to a lot of places the public will never see, so that hopefully they will tell the story in a way that they prefer to have the story told. So, I would imagine that Meredith Constance, who teaches media literacy, can easily pick apart some of those articles like that. And as she said, it was written with the idea of getting past the paywall, because otherwise, I think it's about $2 a month or something less than $2 a month, so that you might subscribe and you don't have to worry about the paywall. But I, like a lot of content creators, I know how to get around the paywall. And so I pretty much see whatever I want to see. But I ain't paying for that. I refuse. Okay. And so with that, you guys, I really do believe I was done. Let me see here. Yes, I am done. So if you have any comments that you want to share, yeah, please let me know. And Legs, do you have anything you want to add tonight, or are you okay? Do you want me to come back members only? I could do that. Matter of fact, I would prefer that. I tell you what, think about it. You don't have to answer. I am going to go out and come back as members only. And then if anybody else has something that they want to add, I don't intend to make it public ever. However, if someone buys a membership, they will have access to it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Murdoch, but I am done. I don't have anything else to add today. Plus, I was on earlier, so we went over most of the material in the morning. Well, a lot of stuff in the morning and then this evening. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to add. So with that, you guys, love you guys, and I will be back very shortly. Private, members only. Cheers.